What if your body already has a hidden system that can clean out damaged cells, protect you from disease, and even slow down aging, but most people unknowingly shut it off every single day? Right now, inside your body, something remarkable is happening. There's a built-in cleanup system working quietly in the background, breaking down damaged parts, removing waste, and helping your body stay strong. You don't feel it, you don't see it, but it's one of the most important processes keeping you alive. And here's what makes it even more surprising. This discovery was so powerful, it earned a Nobel Prize. Yet despite that, most people never activate it properly. And even worse, daily habits that seem completely normal are silently turning it off. This process is called autophagy. You can think of it as your body's internal repair mode. When it's switched on, your cells begin to clean themselves, rebuild, and remove harmful debris. But when it's switched off, that damage doesn't disappear. It slowly builds up, and over time, it starts to affect everything: your energy, your metabolism, your immune system, even your brain. Now, here's the part most people don't realize. Autophagy doesn't run at full strength all day. It depends on something very specific. Your daily routine, especially when you eat, how often you eat, and how long your body gets to rest between meals. There's actually a window, a short period where your body shifts from processing food to repairing itself. And if you never enter that window, your body stays stuck in storage mode instead of healing mode. For many people over 50, this becomes a hidden reason behind constant fatigue, slower recovery, weight that won't go away, and increased health risks over time. But here's the good news. You don't need extreme diets. You don't need expensive supplements. And you definitely don't need complicated routines. In fact, some of the most powerful ways to activate this system come from simple habits that have been practiced for generations, especially in places where people live longer and stay active well into their 90s. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to activate it, step by step, in a way that actually fits into your daily life, because there's one small habit, so simple that most people ignore it completely. Yet it may be the difference between your body slowly breaking down or quietly repairing itself every single day. But before we get into that, you need to understand something important, because what you've been told about eating regularly to stay healthy might actually be the very thing holding you back. What if the real reason you feel tired, gain weight more easily, and seem to age faster has nothing to do with what you eat, but how often you eat, because this is where things start to shift. For years, most people have been told the same thing: eat regularly, don't skip meals, keep your body fueled all day. It sounds logical, but what if that constant eating is actually stopping your body from ever repairing itself? Here's what's really happening. Your body operates in two very different states. The first is feeding mode. This is when you eat, digest, absorb nutrients, and store energy. The second is something most people rarely reach anymore: repair mode. This is when your body finally gets a break and starts cleaning out damaged cells, rebuilding, and protecting itself from long-term damage. But here's the problem. Most people today never leave feeding mode. Think about a typical day. Breakfast in the morning, a snack a few hours later, lunch, another snack, dinner, and sometimes even something late at night. From the moment you wake up, your body is constantly working, constantly processing, constantly digesting. And when that happens, autophagy never fully turns on. Your body stays busy storing instead of repairing. Now this brings us to something very interesting. A simple habit practiced in one of the longest living populations in the world. It comes from Japan, and it's called harahachi-bu. It means something very simple. Eat until you are about 80% full. Not stuffed, not completely full, just satisfied. At first it sounds too basic to matter, but this one shift changes everything. Because when you stop eating before you feel heavy, you reduce the stress on your digestive system. You avoid unnecessary overload. And most importantly, you create space for your body to eventually switch from feeding mode into repair mode. And this is something you can actually observe in real life. In places like Okinawa, where people regularly live into their 90s and even past 100, this isn't a diet. It's just how they eat. They don't rush meals. They don't eat out of boredom. And they rarely eat until they feel uncomfortable, especially in the evening. Meals are lighter. Portions are controlled naturally. And because of that, their bodies experience longer natural gaps without food. And those gaps are exactly what allows autophagy to begin. Now think about that. Not extreme fasting. Not complicated plans. Just a simple habit, repeated every day, and over time, it creates a completely different internal environment. There's even a well-known Japanese physician who followed this approach his entire life. He believed that staying slightly hungry, not deprived, but disciplined was one of the keys to long-term health, and the results were clear. He remained active, mentally sharp, and continued working well into his later years. All from something that sounds almost too simple. not overeating. Now, this doesn't mean you should starve yourself. It means something much more practical. Pay attention to your body, eat slowly, stop before discomfort, and allow your system to rest between meals, because the moment you stop constantly overloading your body, something important begins to happen. Your body finally gets the signal it's been waiting for. The signal to shift, from storing to healing. And once that shift begins, everything starts to change. But there's another daily habit, one that most people do every single morning that completely blocks this process, without even realizing it. What if you didn't need to change what you eat at all, but simply when you eat, to activate your body's most powerful anti-aging system? Let's take this one step further. You already know your body needs breaks from food to shift into repair mode. But here's the real question. How long does that break actually need to be? Because this is where things become very interesting. There's a practice that's been around for centuries, long before it had a name. Today, we call it intermittent fasting, but in reality, it's something the human body was designed for. At its core, it's very simple. You give your body a window of time each day where you're not eating, and during that window, something powerful begins to happen. Your body stops focusing on digestion and quietly shifts its attention to repair. Now here's what's happening inside you during that time. Your insulin levels begin to drop. Your body starts using stored energy instead of incoming food. And most importantly, autophagy begins to turn on. This is where your cells start doing something remarkable. They begin clearing out damaged parts, breaking them down, and recycling them into stronger, healthier components. Think of it like this, a deep cleaning that only happens when everything is finally still. But if you're constantly eating, that cleanup never fully begins. Now, here's what researchers have found. A fasting window of around 12 to 16 hours is often enough to trigger this process. And what's fascinating is many older generations followed this pattern naturally. Without ever calling it fasting, they would eat dinner early, then simply wait until late morning the next day to eat again. No late night snacks, no constant grazing, just long natural gaps. And those gaps gave the body exactly what it needed. Time to reset, time to repair, time to clean itself from within. And over time, that pattern supports much more than just weight. It helps improve metabolism, supports heart health, and strengthens the body's natural defenses. It even increases antioxidants, the compounds that protect your cells from damage and aging. But here's the part that matters most. Fasting gives your body something it's been missing for years, a chance to catch up, to repair damage that's been building silently over time. Now, this doesn't mean you should jump into extreme fasting right away, especially if you're over 60. The key is to start gently. For example, finish dinner a little earlier, delay breakfast slightly, and slowly extend that natural overnight gap. Even small changes can begin to shift your body out of constant feeding mode and back into healing mode. And once that shift begins, something important happens. Your body starts remembering what it was designed to do. Because the truth is, your body hasn't lost its ability to repair. It's just been too busy digesting. What if the very first thing you eat in the morning decides whether your body continues healing or goes right back to aging faster? Now that you understand when to eat, let's talk about something just as important: what you eat. Because here's the truth. Most people miss, even if you give your body enough time to enter repair mode, the wrong foods can shut it down almost instantly, but the right choices, they can actually support and extend that healing process. And this is where things become surprisingly simple. In many long-living cultures, especially in Japan, people don't start their day with heavy meals. They start light, often with something easy to digest, sometimes even liquid-based, and there's a reason for that. After a long overnight fast, your digestive system is still waking up. If you suddenly overload it with heavy processed food, your body is forced straight back into digestion mode. Repair stops, autophagy slows down, and that healing window closes faster than you think. But when you start gently, something different happens. Your body transitions smoothly from repair mode into energy mode, without shutting the process down too quickly. That's why many experts suggest starting the day with something simple. Water, first. Then something light, like a fresh vegetable drink, or a small natural meal. This gives your body hydration, nutrients, and antioxidants without overwhelming your system. Now here's another shift that makes a big difference. Fewer meals, but better meals. Instead of eating all day, the focus becomes eating with intention. 1 or 2 meals that actually nourish your body instead of constant snacking that keeps your system busy. And when you look at traditional diets in places like Okinawa, you'll notice something consistent. Simple foods, lightly cooked vegetables, fermented foods, clean proteins, natural fats. Nothing complicated, nothing artificial. Just foods your body understands. And when your body understands what you're eating, it doesn't struggle, it doesn't get overloaded. It functions efficiently. Now compare that to what most people eat today. highly processed foods, excess sugar, refined carbs, ingredients your body doesn't fully recognize. And these don't just add calories, they create stress inside your body. They spike insulin, and they directly interfere with autophagy, keeping your body stuck in one state, processing, instead of repairing. Now there's one more piece that's often overlooked: hydration. After hours without food or water, your body wakes up slightly dehydrated, and that alone can slow down everything: your metabolism, your circulation, your energy levels. So something as simple as drinking water first thing in the morning can help your body reset faster than you think. It helps flush waste, supports your system, and prepares your body for the day ahead. Even something like green tea used regularly has been linked to supporting cellular health, not as a miracle but as part of a bigger pattern, because that's really what all of this comes down to. There's no single food, no one trick, no instant transformation. It's the combination: eating a little less, giving your body time to rest, choosing foods that support instead of stress. That's what allows your body to return to what it was designed to do: repair, protect, and stay strong, even as you get older. But there's one more habit, something most people do every single night, that completely cancels all of this progress without even realizing it. And once you see it, you won't ignore it again. Before you try any of this, there are a few simple mistakes that can completely cancel everything we just talked about, and most people are making them every single day, without even realizing it. Now by this point, you understand something important. Your body is not broken. It hasn't lost its ability to repair, and it's definitely not too late. It simply needs the right conditions to do what it was designed to do. But this is exactly where things go wrong. People hear about fasting, eating less, healthy habits, and then they rush, or they overdo it, or they apply it in the wrong way. So let's make this simple. Here are the biggest mistakes to avoid. Mistake number 1: doing too much, too fast. Some people jump straight into long fasting windows, skipping meals aggressively, thinking that more will give faster results. But your body doesn't respond well to extremes, especially as you get older. Instead of healing, it can create stress, fatigue, even weakness. The goal isn't to shock your system, it's to guide it. Start small, let your body adjust, and build from there. Mistake number 2: overeating healthy food. This one surprises a lot of people. Even good food, when eaten too often or in large amounts, keeps your body stuck in digestion mode, and that means no repair. Remember, it's not just what you eat, it's also how much and how often. That simple 80% rule, it matters more than most people think. Mistake number 3: late night eating. This is one of the biggest hidden problems. Eating late shortens your body's repair window instead of restoring overnight. Your body stays busy digesting, and that delays everything: recovery, energy, even how you feel the next day. Even moving your last meal slightly earlier can create a noticeable difference over time. Mistake number 4: ignoring the basics. This is where most people overcomplicate things. They look for advanced strategies, while skipping the fundamentals: water, movement, sleep. These are not optional. They are the foundation that makes everything else work. Without them, nothing sticks. Now, here's the bigger picture. There's no single switch, no instant transformation, but there is something more powerful than that. Consistency, small decisions repeated daily, that slowly shift your body back into balance. Eating a little less, giving your body time to rest, choosing foods that support instead of stress. These may not feel dramatic, but over time they create real change. More energy, better digestion, stronger immunity, and a body that feels more capable, not less. Because aging itself isn't the problem. It's how we support our body through it. And once you understand that, everything starts to change. Now I want to ask you something. Out of everything we talked about, what's one small habit you can start today? Just one, because that's all it takes to begin the shift. And if this helped you, make sure you stay connected. Because on this channel, we focus on simple, science-backed ways to help your body stay strong, active, and independent for as long as possible. And once you start applying them, you'll begin to notice something important. Your body responds when you give it the chance.